So you guys had a winning record last season, and you had some big-time playmakers I just mentioned on offense. It's also your second year under your head coach, Dirk Cutter, so some chemistry there. What's the ceiling for this team this year?
Obviously, we're expecting a lot, but at the end of the day, we have to execute. You know, just because we got the talent, just because we got players that can go out there and get it, we still have to dominate. We have an opponent that we have to be better than every Sunday.
Jameis, I got to ask you this question because I'm excited about the fact that you've got Deshaun Jackson because that's a deep threat. Mike Evans, that's a given. We know he's big time. You get O.J. Howard from Alabama. I know he's not a Seminole, but you don't mind having him. I'm quite sure about that. As crazy as this question may sound, because it's you we're talking about here and how you like to fling that football, who are you most excited to have? I know you like having all of them, but who are you most excited to have?
Man, I don't discriminate, man. I'm happy to have all my guys, you know. I'm happy to have all my guys. And fortunately, all those guys can go get it, you know, and we can add 3 more people on that roster that can go get it, you know. So, man, it's a blessing to have those 3 monsters. But like I said, we got to execute, man. We still got to go out there, put the pieces together, and go and make it happen.
Are you consulted at all, going into free agency? When we were asked on this show, in fact, where should Deshaun Jackson go, I said to you guys, because if you put him opposite Mike Evans, who's the most underrated wideout in the NFL, he's right there with Odell and Julio and Antonio Brown, doesn't get enough credit for it. But you put a speedster who can get behind the defense like Deshaun opposite him, and what that allows you to do, and then you got the tight end who is like, oh, my God, this guy is next level. Do they consult you at all going into free agency, Jameis?
Man, the people upstairs, they did a great job adding D-Jack to our roster, man. Being able to stretch the field in the NFL is huge, you know, especially when you got a guy that can beat the deep coverage, whether it's single high, whether it's too high. Guys that with that type of speed, man, you can just sling it out there and they go run up there and get it. You know, NFL has all these long drives, but when you got a guy that can turn a 16-play drive to a 5-play drive just by one deep ball, man, you got to love it.
It's interesting. You've got that signature smile on your face, and you got a lot of reasons to be happy because I'm loving the weapons that you have on offense. Here's what I'm wondering about, though. That defense came on strong last year in the second half of the season in particular. Considering how good the defense was looking, how much pressure do you believe that's applied to you guys to get it done on the offensive end, on the offensive side of the ball? Because if that happens, who knows how much noise Tampa Bay can make this year?
Man, my whole life, I always went by the motto, defense wins championships, offense wins games. You know, so we know the defense got to go out there. They got to go out there and dominate, and we got some superstars on that defensive side as well. With the addition of Chris Baker and Brent Grimes, the older he gets, the better he gets, man. You ought to see that guy out there. So we know the defense is going to make some noise, but like you said, offensively, our job is primarily to protect the football and keep our defense off the field.
Jameis, what is it about you, do you think, when you talk to football people, aside from the numbers and everything else, I hear a lot of the same stuff that I used to hear about Ben Roethlisberger when he was coming out of college, when you were coming out of college. A lot of old football heads look at you, and I hear the same stuff I heard about Roethlisberger. There's something about him. We like that something smells right in terms of his leadership on the field and those kind of things. What do you think it is? How would you describe about you that sense?
That's the main thing is it's not about me. You know, it's about my teammates, man. I'm out there trying to serve them as much as I possibly can. I feel like I'm the ultimate competitor, so I'm trying to compete day in and day out and bring some energy for our squad. You know, as a leader, the key thing to being a leader is followership. You know, if I'm not able to follow these guys and trust the guys around me, there's no possible way I can lead guys and affect them positively.
Two-part question, Jameis, from me. First of all, how much do you believe you personally have developed from last year to now? And number two, and more importantly, when you look at the rest of the NFC South, that's a pretty damn tough division. You got the last 2 NFC champions coming out of the division, and the other dude is Drew Brees, who's a future Hall of Famer. Talk to me about both scenarios, your development and what you're concerned about in the NFC South.
As far as development, Steve, my main goal is to get better every single day. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm regressing, I'm not doing my job, and I'm laying down my teammates. So just developing in specific things, I try to work on everything as much as possible, like processing information, making the right decisions, and obviously just being precise, man. Accuracy is a top thing in this league. But as far as our division, I believe we have the best quarterbacks, like the best quarterback group in the NFL, man. The leaders that we have to face twice a year are very talented. You know, from Cam Newton, Matt Ryan, and Drew Brees. I mean, you got two guys who won MVPs in corresponding years, and we got a guy that already won the MVP, and two of those quarterbacks were in the Super Bowl in corresponding years, and then we got a guy that already won the Super Bowl. So what I'm thinking right now is, why not me? You know, and I'm very privileged to be able to play against those guys twice a year.